Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Kyle back here with another Axie video for you guys. And the reason for it is because the number one question that I got since I posted the Axie breeding video about a week ago is Bloom, what is Axie? Tell me about it. Can I really make money playing the game? So I'm here today to answer that for you. Short answer is yes. The truth is, yeah, you can make good money playing Axie. Um, I started playing about 2 months ago. I invested realistically about maybe $3,000. My account at the moment probably worth five, six, maybe even 7,000 USDs. And I'm gonna take you through my account really quick, show you where it's at. So as you can see here, I'm up to 18 Axies now. I originally bought five with my own money or with cash, deposited into the game. For those that don't know how to do that, in Canada here, the easiest way for me to deposit into Axie was to open an account on Binance. From there, I bought Ethereum and I sent Ethereum to my MetaMask account. And from MetaMask, which is the bridge, obviously, I sent it over to Ronin. And once it's in Ronin, then your funds are in game. And you can go to the marketplace, which you can see here, which basically is where you go to purchase all your Axies. You can see at the moment there's almost 260,000 Axies on the market. So this really has become its own standalone economy. Axies at the moment, the floor Axies, about zero point 0.06 Ethereum at the moment. And then the ranges, all the way up. There's Axies that are worth 10 Ethereum. Obviously, they're very special or unique, maybe even mystic. But about $300 to $500 US to grab an Axie. You can grab a floor Axie for about 200 US at the moment. Prices of Axies have been holding above 200 for a little while now. But this is just a quick look at the marketplace. You can obviously adjust breed counts. You can adjust pureness. You can search by certain classes if you'd like. You could search by certain body parts, but that's more in depth later on. Once you get a better knowledge of the game cards or the abilities, then you can refine your search by their parts and the stats as well. You can customize. So that's the basics of the marketplace there, but I'll show you, where I got most of my game knowledge to begin with, and actually what I did to begin. So when I first found out about Axie, I found out you could play a game, earn money. Kind of shocked me, to be honest. I've been gaming for years, never earned actual money from them. So when I found out about Axie, I had to learn more. So what I did is I joined the Axie Discord here, which I'm pulling up now. And basically I just came into the Discord here. I went into the newbie chat and basically just tried to find out, what's the easiest way to get started? What are some great Axies to get started with? The community was super helpful to me. The community was amazing. Actually, an individual in the community recommended a team of Axies that had won a few seasons ago. Axie is a competitive game. They are on season 18 of their competitive format. So the team that this individual recommended to me was the team that won, I think, maybe season 16. It was a double aqua build with a cuckoo in the back and a sponge in the middle. Not everyone will know what that means, but I will explain someday. Not in this video because we're just going to get into the basics today, but basically what I was trying to explain is that first step is I went into the Discord and I started chatting with people in the newbie chat to try to figure out, what exactly do I need to do. And as soon as I figured that out, they helped point me in the direction of getting some Axies off the marketplace. So once I bought those Axies, I had my first three and I had my first team and I could start battling. Obviously, you need three Axies to play the game. So for anyone that doesn't know that, you do need to initially invest to buy your first 3 Axies in order to get started playing. The other option would to try and get a scholarship from an already existing player. Scholarships are very common in the community. It's a great system that's been set up in the game for the community to kind of help one another and allow the game to expand organically. I'm personally in the process of naming my first scholar. Should have that information hopefully by the weekend. But that's only going to be the first of many. My goal is actually to make a competitive team and grow out the roster and have as many competitive Axie players as we could get onto our team and just kind of grow the community organically that way. So I started off, I bought 1 plant tank. Plants are typically the best tank because they have the highest health stat in the game here. And then I bought 2 aquas, so I ran a double aqua build to begin, which is why you can see I am overloaded on aquas Axies at the moment. Very strong Axie, the second fastest Axie in the game, but I would argue possibly the strongest based on the combination of health and speed that it has. So not to take too much time looking at my Axies here, I will get into that in another video, but one of the main concepts for Axie, you have your first couple Axies and you're wondering, how do I play? What's most important? So for me, I always need to come here and I always need to reference this chart when I am playing Axie Infinity. So this chart here, my favorite one, is made by Level Skip. And I will pull it up here, but it basically explains the type advantages within Axie Infinity. Before we can explain the type advantages, we need to start with the class types. So if you can understand the class types, you can understand which types are strong against other types, so on and so forth, which allows you to obviously be better at the game, climb the leaderboard much quicker. I should mention I hit 1850 MMR today, and this is my first full competitive season that I'm playing. The goal is to make it into that top 1000, obviously, so still a little bit of ways to go. 1850 sitting around top 30,000, so still a little bit of work to do. But here's the classes, and they have them grouped for you because, as you can see in the chart here, certain types are strong against other types, weak against different types, so on and so forth. So in the first group, we got your aquas, your birds, and I'm not even going to worry about the special types, which are on the bottom. This document actually explains more about those later. But group 1, aquas and birds. Group 2, beasts and bugs. And group 3 is plants and reptiles, okay? Why that's important to us is because each one of these little symbols here represents one of the types that I just mentioned above. So the pink one here is the reptile symbol. Beside it is the plant symbol. And the reptile and the plant both are gaining a 15% damage bonus when attacking aquas and birds. Now, aquas and birds, on the flip side, they get a 15% damage bonus when they attack the bugs and the beasts, okay? And then bug and beast will get that same bonus when they attack reptile and plant. So it's important to get a good combination or a good mix of moves within your Axies so that you always have some cards available to get that damage bonus when you need it, okay? Now, as I mentioned earlier, different classes have different stats. You can see here, you can read more about the stats if you would like, but I will just quickly highlight as I go through. So Aqua is the fastest class, second fastest class, only to Bird. Bird is fastest, but it has a very high HP stat as well, so arguably one of, if not the strongest type of Axie. Next we have the Beast class, which specializes in the morale stat. Morale stat allows your Axie to survive and last stand longer. I think it's one of the least valuable of the 4 main stat categories, so I don't recommend too many beast types. The bird class, as mentioned, the fastest speed stat in the game. But it's kind of a glass cannon, lacks the health that's needed to sustain long term. Um, so I don't typically recommend the bird class either. The bug class um, has some fantastic moves. They're basically like cards that manipulate energy or your opponent's hand, make you discard, make you miss your turn, different status effects. So it's definitely nice to have a mix of bug cards in your team of Axies, but they don't have amazing health, and their speed is even worse than their health. So from a stats perspective, the bugs are very weak, but their moves are very intriguing. So it's nice to get bug moves on a different body type. Some of the special classes that I just scrolled over there, I haven't touched on those yet, so I won't explain them. The plant class is the tank. It is the highest health in the game. So almost everybody runs a plant tank in their first slot. On the flip side, it's obviously the slowest Axie, but that's to be expected. And then reptile is like a quicker plant. Still very strong health. Decent speed, not too shabby on the speed side, and they have some great cards as well. So would recommend both beasts and reptiles as strong Axies when getting started. And then that brings us to the secret classes. And before I get into the secret classes, I will just shout out again, level skip for all this great information. I reference it daily since I started playing for about the past 2 months. And I'm somebody who's just like Elijah. If you watched any of his content, I've definitely watched it myself. He makes fantastic stuff, but more or less my story is the same. I kind of found Axie. I played it for a month or two, and the rest was history, and now we full-time way Axie all the time. So shout out to Elijah and level skip. But the secret classes here. So we got the Dawn class, which is essentially a hybrid of a bird and a plant. We have the Dusk, which is a hybrid of the Aqua and the Rep, and the Mech, which is a hybrid of the Beast and the Bug. My favorite of these three is the Dusk. It gets a really nice combo of HP and speed, typically over 50 HP and over 40 some speed as well, which is a nice combination to have on your Axies. So folks, I showed you the marketplace, I showed you the Axies. I just want to explain a little bit about some stats here. Personally, I think the health stat is the most important stat in Axie, okay? The reason for this is because you can obviously sustain more damage the more attacks or the more health that you have on your Axie. So having a decent health stat is very important. And on the flip side, not having enough HP, you're going to be in trouble when you get trying to climb up to the higher side of the leaderboard. The speed, I think, is the second most important stat on your Axie. Speed is so crucial because it obviously determines if you're going to be attacking first or if you're going to be attacking last in that round. Attacking first is huge because if you're able to knock out the opponent's Axie before they can attack, they could potentially waste their cards and their energy, or they may not be able to even play on that Axie because they can see that it's going to be knocked out this round. So speed is super important. What skill does is it gives you a little bit of a bonus damage when playing cards in a sequence with the same Axie. Don't recommend focusing on it, not very valuable. And morale is more valuable than skill, but still not very valuable when you're looking at the stats as a whole. I would much rather focus strongly on the health stat and the speed stat of your Axies. And then the third factor I would look at is the cards that the Axie has, okay? So this is actually a floor Axie. I love buying floor Axies. It's one of my favorite things to do. So you pick up Axies that, people kind of disregard, and they're available super cheap. So I picked up this one. You can see here 5 hours ago, 0.076 ETH. But the reason that I grabbed this one, it's a good combination of, it has a lot of health, which is obviously important when you're looking at plant cards. But then it has a very nice spread of cards. It's a high damage plant. It has the one bird card for 130 damage, which is awesome, and it also has the 0 cost with 30 defense. I strongly believe that having at least one 0 cost card on your Axie allows you to get out of a lot of different situations. So more often than not, I would recommend having a 0 cost card on your Axie. So the combo of the 0 cost, the bird damage on the plant, which is very rare to see, and then a cactus and a hot butt, just made this actually kind of a no-brainer that when I saw it, it's an easy flip. It's just something I enjoy to do. It's kind of like shopping at Value Village, or if anyone knows Salvation Army up here in Canada. Every once in a while you find a diamond in a rough. And in this Axie market, there are so many diamonds. There are just diamonds on diamonds. So my account always idles at a very low ETH balance because I can't stop buying floor Axies. You can see I got enough for maybe one floor Axie right now. But the only reason that I have that much is because I wanted to buy a cuckoo fish earlier, but I was short, so now I'm trying to flip a couple things. Anyways, I'll show off a couple other things I'm working on right now, because I do love also breeding. Competitive breeding has become a big hobby of mine. So I'll just quickly run you through what I'm working on. So I got a pure Nemo here that I'm working on breeding. 95, 94 percentage on those guys. So I'm going to, for the moveset, Risky Fish, Oranda, Goldfish, Nemo on a pure Aqua with 57 HP. I got a couple tanks here that I'm breeding for some future scholars. I'm trying to get a unique tank that runs a combo of Leaf Bug, either pumpkin or turnip, doesn't matter which one. I kind of actually pref the turnip, to be honest. Hot butt and the tiny turtle, which is chomp and the stun. So that's one bug move, one rep move, and then 2 plant moves. And ideally on the eyes and the ears, I want to try to roll plant as well. So I have 2 very nice stun tanks here. Both have leaf bug on them. One has it in the first slot and the third slot. The other one has it in the second slot. And they both have the tiny turtle in the first slot as well. So this, obviously nothing is a guarantee in Axie, but when I breed these, at least 1 or 2 of my breeds, I should get what I'm looking for. And that Axie was the cheapest one of those Axies that was available was at 0.4 ETH, which is like about, I guess, $1,400 right now, US. So definitely some valuable Axies. So hopefully I will be able to breed at least 2, if not 3 of those here when I breed these 2 stun tanks together. And that's all I'm going to explain for now. I could go on all day because I've completely fallen in love with this game and this community. The competitive aspect of it, the uniqueness of, I guess, the marketplace of the Axies, the way that the developers just constantly want to give back to the community, and they want to make global change. All these things are massive. I will shout out Ziori as well. I had the pleasure to watch your first stream yesterday. It was amazing. It was a fantastic stream. So just adds to all the hype and all the excitement behind Axie to see individuals like yourself continuing to produce top content. So thank you for that. That's all I got for basics. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, smash that sub button down at the bottom, and we'll catch you with more in-depth videos coming soon. I just had to bust out this basics one just to educate my own community, because for those that don't know, I come from a PlayStation and NHL gaming background. Also Pokemon, as you can see Bulbasaur up on the wall there, my baby. So that's where I come from. But Axie's kind of taken over now, and I just hope to continue to grow the community, breed more Axies so that more people can get into it, get involved. I continue to climb the leaderboards, and we'll see what happens. Catch everybody on the next one. Cheers.